And there we go. Got the rumble selected. Turn on the rumble stream. Yep, I'm not sure why rumble is moving so slowly, but it should be starting up relatively soon now. And you'll see on my other computer, this computer, however, not really want to show up. And yep, there we go. Now the rumble stream's up and going. My apologies. So let's go and get started. I got a handful of replays for y'all, and let's go ahead and start from the top. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the top left side as the, or top right side as the red Celts, we have Rise. On the bottom left side as the blue Gajaris, we have Advar and Advara Kadarva. I can't speak today, can't read stuff. Avada Kedavra. Wait, what? Abracadabra? No. That's not how that's spelled. Oh, either way, we do have, looks like, some various rhinoceroses being claimed there. Let's go and take a look at each player's civilization bonuses. Celts, that's something you don't really see all too often. Looks like still bugged here of showing out what type of spearmen each player can get. There are infantry and siege civilizations. Infantry moves 50% faster starting at feudal age. Lumberjacks work 50% faster. Very nice. Siege weapons cost weapons fire 25% faster. I hope you like scorpions or mangonels. Those will be both quite nice. You can't get siege onagers, but I can't speak. And siege engines, so he can get some pretty nice siege onagers, as well as heavy scorpions. Oh, looks like the scout was taken out by the camel scout there, and now we do have the militia advancing forward, potentially. Slow down a little bit, and can steal sheep, and sheep with one Celt unit's line of sight cannot be stolen. Very nice. Unique unit, Wold Raider Infantry, which I think is like a fast infantry unit. Unique tech, Stronghold, Castles, and Towers fire 33% faster. Castles heal infantry within a 7-tile radius. Not bad. Your Celtic Siege Workshop units are 40 Siege Workshop units plus 40% HP, so he can get some pretty nice scorpions or onagers with that. You got some militia advance forward, and there are 4 militia, not the standard 3, probably because he lost his scout. Militia's now be advancing forward, and he should have feudal age on the. Actually, he doesn't have feudal age just yet. He's actually pretty. Oh wait, no, he does have feudal age entirely. He just got his militia upgrade, and I was not paying attention. I was looking for the upgrades top left, and didn't see the militia upgrade, didn't see feudal age, but now we do have the very fast-moving man-at-arms. You have a bit of gold being claimed there, not fully walled in, but it's walled in enough from the man-at-arms. And let's go look at blue civilization bonuses. They, of course, are the Gajaris. Starts with 2 4A bushes and currently inside a town center. And garrison mills with livestock to produce additional food. Not bad. Mounted units deal 20% food bonus damage. Starting feudal castle impure age. Garrison docks can garrison fishing ships. Now we do have 2 archers engaging these man-at-arms. We do have the man-at-arms only have 1 pierce armor at the moment. Archers have 4 damage, of course. That does make it so they do 3 damage per arrow. And the faster men-at-arms may be able to overwhelm these archers. Unique unit. Chakram throws, which will fire or disc-throwing infantry units that deal damage in a line. We do also have the Shimsha Rider, which gives cavalry with a pretty powerful first strike attack. And the Camel Scout, which is an early camel unit. You have now 3 archers out in the field. 1 man-at-arms do go down. Scouts do see some hits there. And one of these man-at-arms is getting quite wounded by the camel. Camel does receive a hit there, does take out another man-at-arms, and the man-at-arms going to take the opportunity to fall back since they have a better retreat path now. Let's see, unique tax, Kirshatsias. Military units cost 25% less food, and frontier guards, camel riders, and elephants get +4 melee armor. Most camels and elephant units are created 25% faster, so faster deployment of elephants. We have a handful of archers advancing forward for red now. We do have the fletching upgrade. Blue does have fletching as well. Neither player has gotten any sort of armor. Man-at-arms pushing way forward to support his archers. Nope, they're going to be falling back. One of these archers are quite wounded. There's currently 4 archers advancing. And not to the next stage. We'll spot this builder there. Builder, of course, will spot these forces, and he will just go ahead and ignore the builder. He's building some walls. He will not be interrupted. Now we do also have, looks like the camel getting some good slices onto those villagers. One villager does go down for red. Camel's getting some good damage down those villagers. Red's not really microing his force all too well. There's another villager there as well. That's like 3 villagers down right now. He's down by 5. That's even worse. We have some skirmishers now deployed on the field. Got villagers currently idle. They need to be not idle. Camel will be engaged on in. And Pass could throw a volley onto that camel scout right now. Skirmishers do have 3 damage to the moment thanks to fletching. It does get the kill of the camel there now. Let's see what's red building. Looks like blue's just going straight for more archers and not going for villagers. So red's going to catch up on villagers since blue's not building villagers. That does give red a hidden bonus he may not be aware of. He must be not feeling all too good right now for losing so many villagers.
Kid.
Archers do find a good volley there onto that villager now. And there goes another villager. Big losses for red. Great micro there by blue, getting some great damage on these villagers. It's another villager. Oof. Now he's down 29. His opponent's at 34. And arms does go down, and he does back out of the game now. A little bit of a short replay, but everyone, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Nothing too crazy, that one. Celts, I guess, I suppose I would say, like, maybe Celts need a bit more room to prove. I don't think that Militia Rush, I hit the wrong button. I guess the Militia Rush did not work out too well with the Celts' movement speed bonus. Well, maybe he lost that early, his scout early on may have caused some problems there, but either way. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. So on the bottom left side as the red Malians, we have Vararian. On the top left side as the Cyan Malians, we have B4RTY3OY. Oh, let's go ahead and take a look at both this player's civilization bonuses. Of course, got Malians and infantry civilization. Buildings cost 15% less wood. Barracks units get +1 pierce armor per age. Starting fuel age. Villagers drop off 15% more gold. That's pretty good. Unique unit is a Gabedo. Gabedo is like a fast-moving, melee-throwing axe raider person. Unique text is a Tigi. Ounces can fire arrows when ungarrisoned. That's okay. Nothing really too spectacular. And of course got Fombia. Cavalry get +5 attack, which actually is quite nice. Universities work 80% faster. That could be quite handy indeed. For its opponents, civilization opponents, of course we got the Malians, an infantry civilization. Buildings cost 50% less wood. Barracks unit gets 1 more pierce armor per age, and does enough of that stupid joke there. We do, of course, have, looks like a nice little wall in there on the wood line. Scout cavalry advancing forward. I don't know where Cyan Scout cavalry is just yet. Oh, it's right in front of me. We have feudal age now being researched by red. Blue should have, oh no, that's Cyan's. And I think red just got his as well at the same time. So we've got the same build order, and oops, I was not paying attention there. Speaking about not same build order, we've got 1 quick kill there on the villager, and we do have another 4 militia as well. My apologies for not realizing there's going to be a militia rush. Or a man-at-arms rush. Man-at-arms trying to get some good damage there onto these villagers. And now the villager's going to try to fire the man-at-arms. Villager's getting some good melee damage. Spearman advancing forward. Gets some good pokes there on the scout cavalry. And another man-at-arms does go down, but so does a villager. Currently, villager count, Cyan's down by 3 compared to his opponent. And also, Cyan's not been collecting resources for quite some time for most of those villagers. This villager will be hunted down and will be killed off. We still got 3 man-at-arms here, all of them quite wounded. And looks like he may be going back on in. Scout advancing forward. Will get some damage there onto one of the villagers. Spearman now going to be hit by these man-at-arms. Very nice. And do now have a fresh scout. Does get the kill there on that scout cavalry. I could have sworn that Spearman was going to hit one of those man-at-arms. And does get a nice double kill there at the town center. And the last man-at-arms will go down. Now, I do have a handful of scouts been pulled out. That does give Red an idea of what his opponent's going for, seeing those scouts. Of course, now we do have some archers being employed out by Red now. Cyan's also going for more scout cavalry. And over here, we do have more villagers and archers. I'm going to fast forward a little bit more since both sides now just eyeing to eco up. Cyan, does he not, may not even know Fog of War. He knows about the barracks there, so I'm not sure why he actually went down south here to scout. He knows about this barracks, or maybe not, maybe some sort of bug with the replay where he may have the region passed through once before, but he may not actually realize that that may have been popped up because of the replay, how to put it. He had the area scouted out. Switching back and forth between the players may have caused it to be a false positive when it comes to the replay. But either way, do have a bit of walls being pulled out. Looks like one of Red's villagers will go down. Red does have a 3 villager advantage. Villager's trying to shank the scout cavalry, getting some good damage on that one. One scout cavalry was shanked to death. These other scouts are going to fight it out. Does take out another villager there. Another scout cavalry does go down. And it looks like these villagers are not being tasked properly now. Another villager goes down, and Cyan's at 25 villagers. I thought Cyan had more. Oh, wait. Cyan did have more villagers. And we also got the archers and a spearman here as well. So both sides are attacking each other. Now too busy looking to fight in front of us to realize it's also now villagers killing their forces. When I noticed the villager count's going down for Cyan when it should be even out. So both sides are losing a lot of villagers. These villagers need to get back to town center. We got a spearman and archer here. The spearman should be able to get some good damage there. So does town center. All the scouts are now down. Up here, we got the spearman and archers. Does take out another scout cavalry. 26 villager count. So it is quite even at the moment. Equally bloody. And now we've got these scouts advancing forward. We've got a handful of skirmish as well. Scouts having trouble. They're tasking the wrong unit. Let's take out another scout as well. All those scouts did not do much whatsoever. Spearmen are going to be poking at these skirmishers, showing them this is how you use a spear at close range. The skirmishers are refusing to listen. They are going to throw some spears into the archers now. Does avoid that one, but does get killed off there. But one of the skirmishers do go down. We do have fletching for Cyan, and we do have fletching for Red. And most of the villagers are going to get some shanking done. Luckily, these scouts or archers do not have any sort of armor. I love how it has like no armor, no pierce armor, but they're actually wearing some sort of chest plate, right? Or maybe that's just some sort of fabric. Can't really zoom in any further. Yeah, never mind. Nope. Looks like I got a line here. The line may get some noms on these forces. I do got a big force of archer spearmen being put up by Red. Has regrouped and now makes its way forward. Does have 3 spearmen, should ward away any sort of scout cavalry, and 9 archers, a sizable force. All enough to deal with these skirmishers. They do have 3 pierce armor. The archers, of course, have 5 damage, so they will do 2 damage per arrow hit. And with this 9 archers here, that will be up to 18 damage per volley, so they should be able to 2-shot the skirmishers, barring misses and all that sort. Of course, villagers are not going to like seeing these archers there. Villagers have 2 pierce armor, so they will say sustain 40 damage or or 3 damage per arrow. Spearman trying to get these scout cavalry. Spearman also absorbing a lot of arrow hits for his archers. Now, it's like the best thing to absorb arrow hit or skirmisher hits, but better than the archers, I guess, at this point. That's going inside the town center with some archers and spearmen as well. Does get those military units out of the town center. And these archers advancing forward will find an opening of the wood line. No, it's not a full opening, but a good enough opening to get these villagers. Now they're pinned in this region. He may just fight out, though he's getting some great damage there. Takes out Blue's archers as well, or Cyan's archers. Now scouts coming forward. We'll find these forces here. And wait, somehow one of these archers managed to get in there. He must have bugged out, and because it looks like right now he's standing on the lumber mill. Yeah, he's standing in the lumber mill, so he's sort of bugged out a little bit. Which is actually very important, though the skirmishers can, of course, hit them. These other forces need to advance forward. But this, and the villager can't stab him because he's inside the lumber mill. Though he did only miss out a couple bolts, shanks there from the villager. I don't think it really made a big difference because the villager's still wounded. Just probably a little bit more wounded. No additional units were killed because of that bug. Skirmishers and archers advancing forward with a scout cavalry. I do got a bit of a wall off here. A full wall off. Given enough time, it'll be a fully constructed wall off. And just go ahead and destroy those. Oh, there's a hole there. I wanted that on purpose and oversight because it can be really hard to see these holes. These villager needs to get back on the far side of the gold so and collect gold away from all the arrow fire and spear fire. It's going to be patching up that palisade wall now. That was definitely an oversight. And now the scout says, "Let me in." Now trying to take on this house. This house is putting up a good fight, but will go down given enough time. And we do have a watchtower here. The watchtower should provide good coverage in this inlet. Enclave? No. I'm trying to think what a big round area would be. Peninsula? A peninsula of the walls? Enough of that. It'll have good coverage. Firing some arrows now. These guys are trying to transition down south. This area is fully walled up. Yes, it is. Now it's going to be focused on this palisade wall. Won't be able to repair it up all too well for all the supporting arrow fire. He's getting the close range to deny any repairs. So pushing forward this way will result in him to walk into the town center fire. But you have a reinforcing house now being blown out. And we do have a castle age now plotted by red. We got wheelbarrow on the build queue for Cyan. Let's see what red has on the build queue. Bloodlines, not what's it called? Knights. You can get knights, you can get cavaliers eventually. And Cyan maybe design the back off. Notice his opponent is on the castle age, and we do also got a sizable assault coming out here. Crossbow and Bodkin arrow being researched now. Do have a handful of defensive archers here. But against crossbow and Bodkin arrow, that is going to be a severe disadvantage. Bodkin arrow just got completed. There's crossbow. We'll start firing some bolts into these villagers now, but largely missing. After those archers, they're standing still. It's great damage there, plus some high ground damage. Villagers getting hit now. Finds another villager there. And right now, Cyan's down more than 30 villagers. Ooh. That had to be an oversight of him not building enough villagers, because Red has a better age, a higher age, and more villagers. That had to have been a failure of macro by Cyan. Is it called macro for producing villagers? That's usually the term macro for producing military units. I'm not sure if macro is the right term for villagers, but either way, you get the idea. I think Cyan let that slip. And now Red will have access to more town centers soon enough, and his villager production queue should go up quite quickly. Handful of wall segments going down. Going to be securing this gold gold mine with the town center. And we have these knights advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there onto these scouts. There's a lot of fire coming out of those knights. They can withstand a bit of a beating there. But a number of these scouts are going down. The last one will go down now. Now the archers will be next. Got more knights streaming on forward. These forces, Science Force, while superior in number, not superior in quality by far. You now have a spearman finally advancing forward. Does get one poke there. And Red's knights will go ahead and fall back. We have another pair of knights being on the build queue as well. Cyan still just saying feudal age. I'm not sure what Cyan was doing. He has a very, very poor villager count. He's poor in technology. Something happened, maybe. Did I miss him losing a bunch of villagers to a raid? Down south, we've got the spearman engaged by the knight, and unupgraded spearman will actually have trouble with his knights, even though it is the counter unit. We do now have Castle Age on the build queue for Cyan, but that's still not very acceptable. And Red's going to just go ahead and back on out of there. Pop's just seeing a little bit too much force there. Want to keep his knights alive. Reinforce the knights advance force, so he'll be up to 5 knights. So some of these forces are getting cleaned on up. Skirmishers can't do much versus knights. They currently have 3 pierce armor, and those skirmishers will have 3 or 4 damage, which is not very good. A number of these farms are getting... doesn't have enough wood for the farms. Some of these villagers are going to be spotted and sliced up a bit. Got a knight down here engaging. These knights advancing up north. And this scout will go down to the knight, and the knight is going to run away. We're seeing a lot of arrow fire. And those he will manage to escape on out there. Nope, he just gets moved out of there and dies. Another knight does go down. Knights are getting some good damage there. Takes out another villager. Red now has 63 villagers. Cyan has 26. How? I know Red's doing a good job of killing off villagers, but Cyan, he is not performing at all. More of Red Knights advancing forward, and does stop the deployment there of a house, was it? Yep, or a palisade wall. And now these knights going to have some free reign on these villagers. Villagers can't stand and fight on these knights. They just get crushed. Knights are falling on back now. We do have these knights advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these infantry units. Spearman advance forward. He needs pikemen. Cyan's now down to 20 villagers, as well as 70, and losing even more. I don't think there's any way for Cyan to get back in this game. Going fast forward a little bit. It's just a knight trying to chop this lumber camp. It does go down there. Red's getting a large force of knights now deployed out of the field, and we do have a big wave of crossbowmen. These knights, however, probably should be able to deal with the crossbow no problem. We do have +1 pierce armor, so they have 3 pierce armor versus 7 attack. But they have knights have 120 health. So they're very, very durable. It does throw a lot of arrows and bolts into that farm. Knights now streaming on in. Does get inside the town center. It's fine that he doesn't have his villagers working. He has a superior number of villagers by far. Villagers are crossbow advancing forward, trying to get some good shots onto these knights. Does take out a farm there. Exile villager there. I'm not sure. Red could advance forward. It's nice. He has a very, very good number of knights. 17 to 16. Yeah, he has more knights than his opponent has crossbowmen, so he should be able to overwhelm it no problem. Crossbowmen backing on off. Going to get overran by these knights. Knights, of course, can out pursue them. We have some camel riders here. There's a lot of bolts there. Camels do get some hits there on those knights now. And these knights start to engage these various forces. There are already overwhelming signs force, and these crossbowmen will go down. Now there's going to be a huge wave of knights to crush these various forces. And he does back out the game. It was no... He just failed villagers, producing villagers in my opinion, and then just sort of snowballed from there. By the way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. One checks well. I noticed that Rumble only has what, one person. Huh. I think my Rumble stream may have went down. Please give me a moment to take a look at that. Rumble may just be down. $500 service unavailable? 500 supposed to be like forbidden? Oh, looks like Rumble's just having trouble, so looks like I will for those who are somehow may not be watching Rumble, I may or may not be streaming the Rumble at the moment, so sorry about that. By the way, let's go and go into the next replay. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the yellow Teutons. We have Combi 7 Swords. Up in the north top left side as the blue Berbers. We have Fox, Margao, Margao. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Let's go over each player's civilization bonus as the moment. For the Teutons, are known for an infantry civilization. Monks get ×2 healing range. Towers can garrison twice the amount of units. We do have murder holes and herbal medicine free. Having free murder holes can be quite nice. For your first castle, farms cost 40% less. Very nice. Counselor can add additional 10 garrison. Barracks and stable units get +1 pierce armor, +1 armor in castle, plus armor, 1 more armor in Bureau Age. A unique unit is the Teutonic Knight, which is known for a very heavy infantry unit. Scouts advancing on forward. Unique unit, Ironclad. Extra siege weapons extra melee armor, which can be quite decent to help prevent sort of rush down. Especially for the late game spearmen. And Cornelians. Castles gain +3 range, +3 range. Castle garrisoned infantry. Wait, what does that even say? Whenever I read this one, I always get mixed up. +3 range, castles, garrisoned, infantry fires arrow. I think this needs to be a comma there. I think that's the issue. There's just no comma. You got a bit of a militia rush here. Let's just deny the foray. And does go ahead and cancel that scaffolding. 2 militia, 1 scout. And in the meantime, let's go and take a look at blue's bonuses. The Berbers, they are cavalry and naval civilization. Villages move 5% faster in each age, including Dark Age. Naval units cost 15% less than castle, 20% less than Imperial Age. Ships move 10% faster, which is not going to be useful in this map. Unique unit, Camel Archers, which are unique cavalry archers. Ingeniteur is a mounted skirmisher. 1 villager does go down, 1 militia does go down as well. Unique text, Kabosh. Team castles walk 25% faster, not that important. And Magabai can be used to generate, which can be quite decent. Team bonus, generators are available in the archery range starting the castle age, which is a mounted skirmisher unit. It's also a trash unit. Yellow's now advanced to feudal age. Blue is still in a dark age. And he's getting feudal age now himself. Trying to wall the region with some stable as well. Very nice. And we do have the scout and militia sort of dancing around. Fruitbush is almost done being gathered up right there. You have the scout and militia still trying to push the way forward for a bit of a poke. You got the scout stabbing a villager, and now the militia is getting chased down by these villagers. You now have a stable being pulled out by blue. Villagers going to try shanking the scout, allowing his time for the spearman to come up and poke him. And it looks like the scout will go and fall on back. We do have a second scout now deployed by the yellow player. And the spearman's trying to pursue them. We do got a bit of a wall off here. An incomplete wall. Yellow scouts will go ahead and make their way forward. The villagers do find a bit of a poke there. And do have the blue scout maybe trying to push forward to kill some of these yellow scouts. You have these villagers now engaging yellow scouts. This villager managed to barely, nope, does not escape out of that. And does get the kill there on one of those scouts. Blue just needs to make sure that full health scout will get the kill. He can actually pull back his wounded scout in order to keep it alive, maybe use it for scouting purposes. And looks like this scout was not properly being tasked, and the blue spearman does not intercept. It has another scout down here, just scouting around. And it looks like both players are sort of done with the aggression. That militia member actually managed to stay alive. Needs a medic, but still alive. While off the rest of these walls, we have the spearman trying to pursue. You have these scouts here as well, and he may find a poke there with his spearman, but is not. Yellow's pulling out more and more scouts. Do not see any upgrades on the scouts just yet. Spearman does find a hit there and does pick up Blue's scout right there. Yellow does have a single spearman in the mix. Maybe he'll get some good damage there onto these blue scouts. And it looks like the blue will go ahead and make an attack towards his opponent, trying to force his opponent back. We have these scouts pushing way forward. We got the wounded militia and the scout pushing way forward. It does get a quick kill there on one of the wounded scouts. Does find an opening there with his forces. Villagers do be pulled back off. Villagers, spearman trying to pursue these scouts. Does get one good poke there. Maybe a second poke as well. You got these forces sort of dancing around, trying to get some good damage in. Up north do have, looks like the yellow spearmen do advance. And yellow scouts are getting some good damage onto blue's villagers. Blue does lose a villager right there. The villager count is 35 to 35 at the moment. And we got another villager being spotted there and does not go down, but it's very, very wounded. Yellow's spearmen are in the mix here. Does get a quick stab there on one of the blue spear scouts, and do have a big wave of blue spearmen advancing forward. Next one advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on in. So I don't know if any blues just went down. I think maybe one or two may have gone down. And does take out another villager right there. Blues now have 35 villagers versus opponent's 37. Yellow scouts are still trying to get some more harassment done, getting some great damage down to these villagers. Another one, yellow scouts do go down, and it looks like yellow spearman does lose the fight between the blue spearman and himself. His forces are still trying to find some more villagers. He's currently completely stuck on the inside of these walls. There's no way these scouts can escape. Yep, no way. The scouts do find some good damage there onto some of these villagers, trying to poke them, kill them off. These spearmen are pursuing these scouts to the ends of the earth, which is right there. And this spearman trying to go on in for some stabs. These spearmen are still pursuing these scouts. And so they're just sort of circling around. We do now have blue going for fletching and for Castle Age. Unusual combo to see at this moment. Let's see what yellow is currently deploying out. He is getting some more archers and Castle Age as well. And do get some good hits there. These scouts are now down to 1 health. Even a villager can shank them. And 1 kill there and 2 kills there. Now it's now deploying out a large number of archers, so it looks like they're going to transition to crossbowmen. Blue's now advanced to Castle Age. And now Blue's going to go for Knights.
Later.
The Teuton of bonus. That does get applied to Spearman, right? Barracks and stable units, both of them gets +1 armor and then +2.
Yeah.
So now the Spearman gets 1 free armor. So the Spearman does 4 damage right now. So the Spearman does 3 damage. So this Spearman will receive only 2 damage per stab, and he's dealing 4 damage in return.
Later. Yeah.
We have a handful of archers advancing forward. Likely crossbowmen are almost complete. I don't think he does have Bodkin as well. That's trying to overrun these crossbowmen. These knights are going to be very effective versus that. Yellow Spearman is going to be holding off Blue Spearman as best as he can. And now you got these crossbowmen. They do find some good kills there. But now they're receiving kills. Killed. Another knight does go down. They have 3 crossbowmen left. We got more knights being pulled out by yellow. These knights, of course, get the +1 armor for the age up because these Teutons. And all these forces are now being cleaned on up by yellow. Blue still has a single knight in the region, but yellow has a handful of forces, but all of them quite wounded. You now have a castle being put out right there. I was not expecting a castle, but the castle will go quite quickly. The palisade wall gate will go down. And notice the castle will go up before anything too serious happens to Blue's infrastructure. That crossbowman does spot the castle then, and now the knight's going to be backing off, trying to find some of the exterior forces. We do now have a camel archer deployed on the field, and to engage those knights. We do have the knights advance forward, breaking through. Does get the walls off there, but quickly focus on these houses, because these houses are relatively vulnerable for some point in time, but he didn't really engage all too low, and they're having trouble with all of the stacking up. Trying to go for another house as well. Managed to build it well in the corner and repair up the other house. Camel archers can find some arrows onto these knights, but not doing all too great damage. Camel archers now receiving private fire, has 8 damage per arrow, 5 range. Crossbowmen have 7 damage per arrow and 7 range. Camel archers do only have 55 health, as opposed to crossbows 35. trying to clean up more of these houses. We do now have a fresh guard tower being pulled out here as well, a watchtower. Camel Archers trying to throw some arrows on these forces, but thanks to the increased range of these crossbowmen, they're having a bit of trouble with that. Inside the tower now, we're able to fire off a handful of arrows against these forces. And this Camel Archer's falling makes its way down south. Camel does go down. It made a really weird sound as it died. I don't know why. Oh, I do have some stone walls being pulled out. Interesting. And some of these stone walls are not hardly even touched, but they can be quickly focused down. And now going for trying to wall off the region with a siege workshop as well as some stone walls. Does get through those unbuilt stone walls. These unbuilt stone walls will receive some fire, so does the siege workshop. And now do got a big wave of Camel Archers advance forward. Even pick off some of these crossbowmen. Looks like we got a handful of forward houses as well as pool of 6 green research. Very nice. Those siege workshops seem quite a bit of fire, so electric will go down. Now I was trying to build up some more walls on the back line, and this gate will go down. Those are just probably need to evacuate into the town center now. Going to be overran relatively soon. These nice advance forward. We'll find some Camel Archers. I don't think these Camel Archers are doing all too well, honestly. Now this mill's going to receive some fire. Camels are advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there, but it looks like the crossbowmen are doing a little bit better. They also have the high ground advantage. Blacksmith now under siege from the knights as these crossbowmen picking off all these Camel Archers. These Camel Archers are not paying enough dividends to really warrant them. Another farm will go down. Yellow's now eyeing for a forward castle. This castle's a bit of a power play. Blue still has a defensive castle here, and Yellow's not going for Imperial Age just yet. Nor is Blue. Do have a Magna on the build queue. It looks like he may be abandoning that castle. There's been too much fire in this region to really warrant him. Crossbowman does get some good kills there on that knight now. Of course, without mortar holes, this tower will be sieged down. Now Blue's eyeing for his own castle. Yellows does have access to murder holes, so that does allow him to get some good damage for consistent damage. Yellow's not going for a guard tower here. May want to get this castle going. He actually cancels that castle. The village count is in favor of Blue. It's 82 to 84 plus 74. Now Yellow does pull out another castle, this time a bit farther back. And this guard tower is using quite a bit of fire now. Up here we got these knights and crossbowmen seeing a bit of fire. He does avoid the Magna fire. Castle's almost fully built. We do also have these crossbowmen firing some rounds into the housing. And these crossbowmen will find some good hits there on these villagers. Does avoid those crossbowmen for the time being while losing a couple villagers. And also we do have, of course, the castle engaging a house. Over here we have another house being pulled out. Mining camp will be interrupted. And we got some good damage going on out. Let me just grab a drink from my nearby drink. The university still receiving quite a bit of fire. Forces are cleaning up this various housing and mining. More across one advance forward and try to hit the wood line now. It's not looking good for blue. The camel archers have not been paying enough or do enough damage here to warrant them. These camels are also a little bit wounded, so having a bit of trouble engaging these crossbowmen. Camel archers only have 1 pierce armor. More arrow fire into that university. And then back it out, so starting to advance forward. Crossbow advance forward, getting some good damage there on those camel archers. Camel archers does go down as we got the knights just advancing forward. Some of the knights are going down. It does take out all those knights there with his camel archers. Now they're starting to pay a little bit better. Magneto does get a decent shot there onto this knight. Gives another shot as well. And looks like blue has backed out of the game. This is great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Ugh, I don't know why, I'm just getting hit by sudden drowsiness. Oh, as my dinner is sitting in. That's something I want to do as well before I start. I think the music volume is just a little bit too quiet. That seems much better. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. So on the top right side as the red Maulians, we have Fox, Margot, Gago, I have no idea how to pronounce it. So on the bottom left side as the blue Byzantine, we have Nikov. Let's go over each player's civilization bonuses. For the Maulians, they're of course an infantry civilization. Buildings cost 15% less wood. Barracks units get +1 pierce armor per A, starting in feudal. Villagers drop off 15% more gold when they're dropped off gold. Unique unit is a Gabedo. It's a fast-moving, axe-throwing infantry unit. Unique text is Tugui. Councils can fire arrows while ungarrisoned. And Farambia. Cavalry get +5 attack. Universities work 80% faster. Byzantians. Defensive civilization. Buildings get additional health per age, 10, 20, 30, 40. Camel riders, skirmishers, and pikemen, cavaliers cost 15% less. Fire ships attack 50% faster. Invasive view per age costs less. Town watch and town patrol are free. Unique units, cataphract. Unique text is Greek fire +1 ship range. Bombard towers do +5 blast damage, which could be quite interesting. And logistica, cataphracts do cause trample damage. Got a handful of militia advance forward, 1 more reinforcing as well. Trying to get the kill there on Red Scout. Red Scout is almost down. You could perhaps just order him onto automated scouting, since he's not probably going to be useful in combat anymore. It does get the kill there on Red Scout. Blue Scout does not go down. These militia could advance forward to get some damage in. It looks like these militia are going to be not really falling back, not moving forward. Starting to move around to the flank, trying to get some good engagements. But they will find a big wall off there. They'll start whacking down this house with their maces. And I think this scout is doing the auto scout feature right now. The militia now falling back. Let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit as the militia is trying to find an angle to get in. We have these skirmishers advance forward, no flushing upgrade just yet, and looks like these first militia will fall all the way back home. We now have a handful of archers deployed on the field for red, which of course they do have flushing upgrade. Skirmishers do not. So these archers will do 2 damage per arrow against these skirmishers, assuming they hit. Get some good damage right there. And now we got the lion now trying to get some noms there onto the archer as well. Lion does go down there. The militia now starting to make their way forward. Militia do have 2 pierce armor, which will be very effective versus these skirmishers, so we'll do 1 damage to them. Oh wait. Ah, never mind. It is his civilization bonus that gives him the extra pierce armor, which is actually very important in this engagement. Militia now drawing quite a bit of fire from these skirmishers. Try to go for a kill there on one of those archers. One of the militia members do go down. Good damage there onto those militia.
Impero. Ein Impero.
Nope, it looks like one of these scout cavalry is getting hit. And these forces are pushing their way forward. We do have these skirmishers. There are 7 skirmishers, 1 spearman. Got a second spearman, another skirmisher advancing forward. We got a good number of archers on the high ground. One of them does get picked off. And now I've got the militia members advancing forward. Getting some clubbing. They're not clubbing seals, but it's the next best thing for them. Hitting skirmishers. Or spearmen. These scouts are falling back as well. Another archer does go down. Blue does have a very, very good force amount of skirmishers here. Does throw a volley there in the skirmishers. That civilization bonus is making these militia members very good. You can also use Stan to get now a couple more militia members to support his fights. Of course, against these spearmen, they'll have their trouble there. They do have 0 inherent armor. The militia does go down now. We have these skirmishers advancing forward in square formation. And these villagers are receiving a bit of hits. Villagers do, of course, have 2 inherent pierce armor. So these skirmishers will only do 1 damage per spear to them. Skirmishers and scouts are now going around the flanks trying to get some good engagements. You can see he's moving over here. Let's switch over to red, see what his build queue looks like. We do have looks like a skirmisher and villager on the build queue, but need more housing. And does get inside the town, so now it does throw some arrows into him. We do have a good number of scouts in this region as well, so maybe I have a large number of scouts before engaging. Try to have to deal with these spearmen as soon as possible. And now the villagers are being pulled off the line, trying to stab some of these forces. Spearmen not in the mix. Now they're pushing way forward, trying to get some good hits. One of the spearmen do claim one of the scout cavalry. The scout cavalry still trying to push them way forward. A lot of villagers have been pulled off the line to help stab these people. Archers now gain some good high ground damage there. Skirmishers are claiming the high ground now. And now the spearmen will clean up the scouts. All the scouts are down. Nope, there's still 1 remaining. And we do have both sides losing a lot of forces, but blue has been cleaned on up, giving red some more breathing room. And blue's now advancing Castle Age. Red has not researched Castle Age. Red does also have superior number of villagers, since he has not researched Castle Age just yet. You may want to eye getting Castle Age sooner rather than later. He's still getting more villagers. We got a handful of crossbowmen now deployed on the field, as well as a camel rider. Camel rider should be very effective versus any knights his opponent may want to go for. And currently he's building nothing at the moment. Does get his Castle Age now. These forces are backing on off, trying to run away from these forces now. So we do have a defensive watchtower being pulled on out. All his force is quite wounded. Watchtower is almost complete. Crossbowman does get a handful of bolts into these villagers. Did not enough to two-shot them, but does get some good damage nonetheless. Camel Rider is now falling on back. And we do now have a fresh tower with fully loaded up with some villagers. Getting some various arrow fire there. Of course, without ballistics, he will have trouble versus hitting these blue mobile forces. We do have more houses being blown out, which will help his housing issue he had earlier. Castle is now in the build queue for red. We have another house being more housing blowing out. He's trying to wall off the region. There's going to be an opening right here, I believe. Because I don't see... no, there's a house. There's a tree there and a tree here, so there's not an opening right there. Housing's been partially built. A lot of unbuilt housing. We got these force trying to come in for a nice flank. It'll be a bit of a choke point for both sides. Crossbowmen are good for choke points. And now we have Castle H now. Scout squad, the scout cavalry does go down. And now these camels are trying to get some good damage onto these housing. More housing being built now. Red's currently going for Bottom Arrow and Arbor or crossbowman research. As well as more archers entirely. Both of them have been complete now. Red now has his crossbowman advancing forward, and blue should be potentially cleaned on up. So we do have more crossbowmen camels advancing forward. We got these crossbowmen and camel as well in the back line. We have a couple skirmishers here to support. Trying to do with these crossbowmen now, gain some decent damage. We also got another force of camels here. Looks like blue's a little bit everywhere, keeping red contained into this town center area. And that guard tower is still firing away as units are getting in range, but having trouble getting any sort of damage thanks to the fact without ballistics. Red's going for some more crossbowmen now, and one of the villagers do go down. I do hear some down farms. He does have some spare farms over here because the villagers that are working them are dead. Red has 48 villagers, blue has 48 as well. Looks like blue hasn't really capitalized on his castle age in order to get out some additional villagers, such through additional town centers. Blue has now regrouping his forces over here. No more forces up here, but we do have a handful of camels here next to this relic. Red's crossbowmen are getting picked off one by one. Red just does not have enough crossbowmen versus blue. Red's now backing on off, trying to avoid this region. Sounds like I hear a lion when I'm moving around this region. There's a lion. Over here, do have these camel riders advancing forward, trying to get some potentially good damage in this region. Houses have not been built. He may want to get those houses rebuilt. In fact, there's one that's not even started. Crossbowmen advancing forward, trying to get some good damage in this region. Do got a handful of knights here, which 2 knights may be able to clean up this force. It'd be a bit cutting it close. All depends on the pathing. Skirmisher does go down. Knights are receiving a bit too much fire there. And these crossbowmen, there's 13 crossbowmen for red advancing forward. Knights now streaming on in, trying to get some good damage there. Red has a couple crossbowmen to support these knights as well. Couple of those crossbowmen do go down. Blue will win out, but they have another knight now pushing this forward. These crossbowmen are receiving a bit too much elite skirmisher fire. And these forces will go ahead and fall on back. You have another stable being employed on out. Red's going for crossbowmen knights. No additional towns in it looks like just yet. Village count is still quite similar. Both sides may not have another town center, but it looks like Red does go ahead and back out of the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And a little bit of a shorter replay, nothing too significant. Over here, Aztec versus the Poles. Timeless enemies. Greetings everyone, Angrade here. Spawning as the yellow player, we have Aztecs who sort of spawn in this region. Oh, he does spot one of Cyan's villagers here and does claim a sheep from that region. Cyan does have 2 villagers down over here. We've got a villager here. So that's where they're roughly at. I mentioned beforehand, Cyan has spawned in as the Poles, Yellow has spawned in as the Aztecs. Oh, does go ahead and take on that elephant now. Does wall himself in and start collecting that elephant already. Cyan's town center is right next to this fish, so he's going to be claiming the fish. Up here, that's a sheep, and there is the town center over here, right next to the wood and stone. Some sheep are being collected. And over here, you have a lot of fish being collected. Now going for some hunts. Hunts are a little bit better than fish in collection rate. Does have a bit of distance here, but so does right here. So let's go ahead and take time to cover each player's civilization bonuses since they have selected their location. Poles, they are cavalry civilization. Villagers regenerate 10 health per minute and does more per age. Bulwarks replace a mill, in which when you build a farm, it does get immediate harvesting of part of your deployed out farm. So mines generate additional gold to stone, so you can actually focus on stone if you want to get a little bit of gold, but not too much gold. Unique unit, the Oblique, which I believe is the infantry unit that destroys armor, and Winged Hussar, which is a more advanced Hussar unit, additional upgrade for them. Unique unit is Slalcha privileges. Knights cost 60% less gold, which makes them very cheap. And Leichtika Legacy, light cavalry deals trample damage, which can be very nice. You can get light cavalry, I think that's light cavalry line, including the Hussars, because you can get Hussars and Winged Hussars. For Yellow, the Aztecs, their civilization bonus. It is infantry and monk civilization. They'll just get additional carrying capacity, which can be quite handy, especially for the hunts on this map. So you don't start off a scout. Being able to get more carrying capacity for your hunts could be very useful. The military units are created 11% faster, which is nice, nothing too significant. Monks get additional 5 hit points per monastery technology to include Sanctity, and they have all monk technologies available. Unique techs. Atalato skirmishers get +1 attack and range, which is very handy because skirmishers are basically the core trash unit. Garland Wars, infantry gets +4 attack, which can be very useful for your other trash units, such as the pikemen and halberdier. Though right now the replay system is a little bit bugged, where nobody can apparently pull out spearmen as a research option. See here, like spearman XXX. You have, looks like fast castle for Cyan. For Yellow, looks like maybe going for castle as well. Oh yeah, but he has already gotten castle, so both players have gotten fast castle. Let's see what each player has scouted out so far. Okay, he definitely has seen this infrastructure there, so blue knows Yellow's at. Yellow does not know where Cyan's at, though he did spot some villagers down here in early game, so he may have a good idea of where he's at. Yellow's now deploy out additional town center. Where are those knights going? I'm not sure where those knights are going. They're right there. They're at the watering hole. The horses need some water. Looks like Cyan does have 3 town centers, deploy out 3 villagers at a time, and does claim some sheep, some sheeple. And looks like Yellow's skipping all of his villagers right now and going for crossbowing. Looks like both players are a bit low in food. Looks like Yellow's doing has a bit of poor management over his food income. You have the zebra here need to be bringing some food. Now he does have enough for some villagers. He also can claim some more fish here. There's a couple fish nodes here with some fish, not a whole lot of fish. And does not build this palisade wall right there, so that he was not eyeing to attack, just eyeing for aggressive scouting, I guess. Granted, knights are not so good at scouting. Sheep are moving down south. There's some more sheep here. In here, unclaimed sheep. It looks like both sides are just equaling up again. We have a bulwark here. And we do have a handful of crossbow pushing forward. We have all these going for some nice outposts here. Very nice. And blue does lose a villager there. up north do have a town center sort of hidden in the corner with some sheep. And I do have this knight now pursuing and destroying those palisade walls that are some odd reason right there. I'm not sure why there's palisade walls there. I really don't know. I don't think there was a hunt inside of it either, so... Either way, let's go ahead and fast forward since he's just whacking down that wall. We got these crossbows advancing forward. And we also have a scorpion now receiving some repairs. There's a lot of crossbows here. It does receive some fire there. Takes out the villager, not the scorpion. Do have 3 scorpions here. That's actually quite a large number of scorpions. Does get some good AoE damage there. Does take out another villager. The villager count is 48 for yellow, 67 for cyan. So cyan's doing really good with villager production, while his opponent has not. Good split moves there. Dodging a lot of those scorpion bolts. Does get a lot of hits now. Magno fires. Gets a decent hit as well. These crossbowmen are getting whittled away due to the mass siege of his opponent. Looks like these crossbowmen may just want to fall back. They could perhaps head to the town center to get some health regen inside the garrison. Now do have a defensive castle being deployed on out. Yellow's backing on off. We got a very, very large number of crossbowmen here for the Aztec player. But his opponent does have a good number of siege, including... And does fire some rounds into that palisade wall there. Does want to take time to engage the outpost there. And do have an Eco Scout poking wave against these forces. Scorpions does get some volley there. Not a whole lot of splash damage. Does take out a couple more crossbowmen there. Some damage there. And the Mangonel does go down. Defensive castle has been fully deployed out. Eagle Ward or Eagle Scout does not want to see that. Got a big wave of villagers there. Yellow does not have any additional villagers queued on up. He may be going for Castle Age. Maybe a little bit too early for Castle Age. Up north, Yellow's or Cyan's extra town center here. There's also a lot of gold in this region as well. This is actually a great place to claim. And Yellow has not noticed this town center up here. It hasn't even touched up here. So Cyan is going to have a nice little free resource in a very exposed area. Plus, has plenty of concealment. So Cyan should get some nice amount of resources up there, which is going to be very, very important. The long game goes on. More likely, Cyan should have the advantage having the winged hussars as a unit deploy out. But the Aztecs can deploy out some excellent infantry units, such as thanks to Garland Ward. It has to deploy out some stone walls as well. Both sides are trying to macro up. Is Eagle Scouts advancing forward, or those maybe Eagle Warriors now? I have trouble actually click on it. You know, to have some oblique deployed out in the field. Do have 2 Pierce armor. There's a lot of crossbow in here, and they have 7 damage, so they're going to do a lot of good work. They also wound up deploying out 4 town center. Cyan still has a very good villager count of 113 versus 77. Scorpion does find some decent damage there. It does manage to fire another bolt before falling down. Obliques advancing forward will find these pikemen, which don't have a whole lot of armor to remove. You can see here was 0-0, and his buddy next to him has a 1-1. The oblique are sort of an interesting option at this moment. I don't think oblique is a good idea at this moment. Where do I hear that? There's the oblique. The oblique cannot remove armor from buildings, though. You know, maybe I need to push forward a little bit more. Stone being collected. The last bit of stone there. Looks like there's trees in a bit of way though. A number of pikemen here. And do have chemistry now being researched, or not chemistry, ballistics for yellow. That's going to be very important. Looks like both sides just eyeing to eco up again. decides to point out some more forces here, and does have some good full works and getting some all of those extra local resources, fishes, which are of course much more better than farms because you don't have to pay for any sort of upkeep for them, any wood upkeep. The reseed costs. I like to call that as upkeep. And now Yell's going for a forward castle, maybe a defensive castle, a castle right here. Be both useful in offense and defense. Over here looks like the Yellow's wielding a lot of force here. Do have a reserve of pikemen inside this barracks. Some of them are streaming on forward. I don't know what's going on right there. Yeah, the winged hussars have been pulled out on the field. It's good damage there onto those winged hussars. Both players are now Imperial Age, if I didn't mention that earlier. Yep, we do have the winged hussars upgrade. You have the, let's see, they do 13 damage, 3-4 armor. Pikeman will look at poke them a couple times. Winged hussars may receive a pretty good damage there. I don't know if he has trample damage. If he has trample damage, that would be great. But the pikemen and the winged hussars are engaging each other. But it looks like, based on all the damage spikes there, I think he does have trample damage. Will make it very, very even out versus these pikemen with the trample damage. All the pikemen go down, but the winged hussars are not exactly too good for wear either. They're severely, severely wounded. Still one barracks up here. Yellows does get a lot of housing there, so maybe Sonic can set up a raid up there to poke away, past destroy the barracks, and then destroy all the housing. It'll take a bit of time. He'll claim some gold there. Very nice. Sonic trying to advance forward with his winged hussars through the housing. More housing is being built. You also have a good number of barracks in this region as well. And holy crap, that's a lot of winged hussars being deployed on out. So we've got mass production being deployed out by both sides. I don't know if he has... He does have Garden War plus 6 damage, so that's definitely Garden War plus other upgrades. So these pikemen are now supercharged. I don't think that previous fight had them upgraded. Now they can get additional 6 damage going. And that can really change the map quite a bit. So they already got pretty good bonus damage versus these units, but now they can actually do some good damage as well as engage other things such as buildings and siege units a bit better. Crossbowmen getting some good damage on these winged hussars. They do have 4 pierce armor. The crossbowmen have 9 damage. We've got Arbus research now completed. Now they're up to 10 damage. Castle's on fire. He could throw his Arbus inside the castle, get his arrow count up. The winged hussars are advancing forward, getting some good damage there. Village trying to repair up the castle. The villagers need to get inside of that castle. Some of them do. Does net him 1 extra arrow there. Pikemen can try to get some more damage on in, trying to deal with these winged hussars. More winged hussars are advancing forward. Trying to repair up the castle now. And we have more and more tributary shots already in the castle. Pikemen advancing forward, trying to engage these winged hussars. Winged hussars are just pushing way forward. You have these pikemen in this region as well. They're on defensive stance, I think. Get some free damage there. And now these forces are starting to engage each other now. And those pikemen do go down. Can you get Halberdier upgrade as Aztecs? I do not know, and I can't check because of the bugged out icons. But maybe not, because probably would have gotten it by now. Now got the Halberdiers or pikemen engaging these winged hussars, but the splash damage being very, very cost effective. That's like Yellow will go ahead and back up the game. That trample damage is just a little bit too much for him. Either way, this is Antigrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Not sure what the Aztec player could have done to win out for that. The trample damage on those winged hussars were just effective against the pikemen. I don't know what they should have done. Jaguar warriors are anti-infantry. Maybe And Eagle Warriors cost a bit gold. I don't know. Either way, let's go ahead and go to Teutons versus Lithuanians. Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. So on the bottom right side, as the red Teutons, we have Liam GPT, and the game may have been paused for a moment. Spawn on the top side as the blue Lithuanians, we have BNSBTC. Goat's been claimed. Down south, we got the elephant being claimed as well. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. Lithuanians, they are of course a cavalry and monk civilization. Each townsman provides 100 food upon completion. Spearmen and skirmishers move 10% faster, which is not half bad. Each garrison relic gives +1 attack to knights and lightus. Unique units: lightus was an armor-piercing cavalry unit in the winged hussar, which is a alternative or additional upgrade to the hussar line. And down south, okay, the other upgrades as well. I'm getting everything mixed up. Hill forts. Town centers get +3 range. Tower shields get spearman line, and the skirmisher line +2 pierce armor, which will make skirmishers even more effective versus the potential mass arbalists you could fight in late game. Teutons. They're not exactly known for archers. Infantry civilization. Monks healing range is ×2. Garrison units get towers can garrison twice the amount of units. Murder holes and herbal medicine free. Farms cost 40% less. Townsender gets +10 garrison space. We've got this scout advancing forward. We're seeing some townsender fire. Barracks stable units get +1 armor in Castle Age, +2 armor in Imperial Age. A total of 2, I should say. And unique units: Teutonic Knight, which is a heavy infantry unit, known for heavy armor and slow. Unique tech: Ironclad. Siege weapons gain extra melee armor. Granulations, +2 range of castles, and garrison infantry can also fire arrows. Scout does go down to his forces. We got the skirmishers, skirmishers engaging the spearmen, spearmen engaging the spearmen, and the archers engaging the spearmen. Scouts do go down. They're just leaving these 2 spearmen and 2 archers in the region, trying to wall in these forces, allow the skirmishers to pursue these forces. Teutons do not have faster skirmishers, while the Lithuanians do. We also have a wall line here, so these forces will be trapped very, very soon. They'll spot the roadblock there. Skirmishers are already set up on the potential retreat path. And you may go ahead and ambush, well, not necessarily ambush, but kill off these forces. Blue does get into the high ground, which does give him some damage resistance. Skirmishers do miss their spears. There's an opening here to escape as well as down there, but maybe not trying to escape. These forces are pushing back home. Looks like I'm not so sure where they're going. They may find the wall line, but the wall will not be complete. Nor will they pay for it. And the spearman's going to go ahead and stab that villager. Spearman advancing forward, or scouts advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there onto these skirmishers. We do have a handful of archers in this region as well. Good damage there onto the villagers. Red does lose a villager, but Red does have a superior number of villagers at the moment. House will go down. And we've got these forces advancing forward. May see these skirmishers pushing way forward. Does get some good spear fire. Scouts pushing way forward, trying to tie up these skirmishers with melee. Archers firing away. Villagers have been pulled off the line, trying to deal with these scouts. Another spearman does go down there. Archer's doing some great damage right there. Hasn't lost any of them just yet. Another villager goes down for Red, but Red still has a superior number of villagers. Blue looks like maybe having trouble building his own villagers. We have nothing on the build queue for Blue at the moment. He's going to, looks like for Castle Age right now, has quite a bit of food stored up. More villagers going down. He does now have enough for Castle Age, but it's too busy microwing. Another villager does go down. The village counts 31, so the lack of villagers that's being pulled up with blue is good. Okay.
Ja, da vale.
He does got one more skirmisher there. These skirmishers are receiving lots of fire. And it looks like this archer just may just try to run away. Or, nope, it does go down there now. Castle Age on the build queue for blue. Red is not going for Castle Age at the moment. He is approaching the food fort. There you go. That's the mass garrison there to get the food. There you go. I saw the 799 food. Got Castle Age now being researched by Red. Let's go and fast forward once again, because it looks like he's just trying, both sides are equaling up. Skirmishers are advancing forward, trying to engage these blue archers. And now we've got blue's Castle Age not complete. So it was over the blue, going for crossbowman research. Archers receiving some good hits there as we got the Scout Cavalry advance forward, getting some good damage onto these skirmishers. Another skirmisher goes down, does spot the crossbow research, which does give him some time to prepare a counter. He could go for a couple of knights, times probably 12. Red's going for bloodlines, getting the cavalry armor, and as well as more villagers. No knights being queued up at the moment. He's probably lacking food. There we go. Has enough food now for a knight. Maintaining more and more villager production as well. And we do have this line, does get some noms onto this knight now. Crossman advance forward, trying to harass this wood line. Won't be able to secure any kills, but if they are able to harass, that'd be great. He does have fletching, but not Bodic and arrow research at the moment. They do have a big wave of knights on the build queue for a red. This knight should be able to finish off these crossbowmen no problem. Let's finish off, yep, all of them. Scout and knight are advancing around, trying to find an opening. Those are going to try to create an opening. And do have another house going on up to patch up that hole that's soon going to be appearing. Who has pushed forward, claimed the relic, very nice. Red's now advancing forward with a big wave of knights, 5 knights, 1 wounded. They may find a monk with a relic or a monk without a relic. And Blue could try going for mass conversions against these knights. They're coming in small numbers, but the monks could do some good work and convert. There we go, trying to go for conversion now. The town center arrows. This one is a little bit exposed, trying to get the convert off. Some of these villagers going down. These villagers are going to be sliced up quite a bit. You now have a monk of a relic here. Now these knights have been killed off nor converted. They're all quite wounded as well. I'm not sure where that monk is. But one that's been converted, this one is not one of the conversion off. Another knight does go down. Red's knights are being slowly picked on off. The converted knight and a pikeman trying to deal with these 3 knights. Likely Red should be a win out, but the pikeman will get some good damage there. And looks like the pikeman's not sticking around to stab more knights. More arrow fire onto these knights now. They do have decent pierce armor, so they can withstand a bit of a beating. But they can't withstand it forever. But denying his bonus income by having these guys garrison is always quite nice. So I heard another convert there. This knight here needs some much needed healing. And now down to 1 last knight. You may want to just go for a palisade gate right there. Knight's trying to push his way out. And it looks like the Blues Knights and Pikemen trying to pursue these Knights. They're getting some good damage there, but we do have more and more red Knights just pushing on forward. Let's find this villager line there. Pikeman gets good damage on him when the villagers do go down. Blue does have lesser number of villagers, 34 to 43. And these knights are severely wounded. Doesn't receive additional arrow fire there. They go down now. The other knight receiving quite a bit of fire. This one does escape out. These wounded knights are trying to back on off now. Does have a large number of wounded knights. Blue does have one relic. Remember, he's also the Lothal Waiting player, so he gets more damage per relic he claims. However, this knight is a converted one, while the one next to him is also converted, so he's not getting any additional damage at the moment with those guys. That knight does go down there, can cast those villagers back to work. Wounded knights are skirmishing around, trying to find another engagement. We have some more higher health knights advance forward. He may get some monks in this region at the current rate, but does one shank or poke that knight to death with his spears. You now have a house being pulled out. Do have, looks like a monk converting up. Does get one of the high full health knight as well. Knight trying to fall him back. May see some hits there from these pikemen. Down here, we do have a handful of knights advancing forward, trying to get some good damage in. And we do have these 5 knights falling back, 6 knights in the region, but there's just too many pikemen for the turnaround engage. More knights advancing forward. It's not going to be a good engagement by Red. It's going to lose a lot of those wounded knights. All the wounded knights are now down. He says a good number of pikemen in this region, so Red is losing a lot of knights. Gotta convert over here. Trying to convert this villager. Two of these knights are so wounded, but the monk just can't go turn around and pop them in the head. Both those knights go down. He could try converting this last one, but no, the monk does go down right there. Siege Workshop will be completed. I'm not sure it's going to accomplish all too much. He's trying to pull out a scorpion. Pikeman gave some damage there. Trying to go with another convert. Oh, and this monk will get the convert off on the wounded knight. The monk does go down. Fresh scorpion here, just find a good shot there on the pikeman. Now there's 3 knights in this region. Able pass to push forward to get some good damage in. Siege Workshop now under fire. Nice, trying to get some damage on it. I hear some monks push away forward. Got a Mangonel heal. Finds a good volley there on that scorpion. Does lose the Mangonel, does lose a scorpion. He does get some good kills there and does take out both of those knights now. And it looks like Red's going to lose the Siege Workshop now. Give him enough time and slashes. More knights been pulled out. They may be eyeing to engage over here. Do have some more monks push away forward. Blue now has 3 relics. And this monk or knight is one of his? Nope, I don't know which knights he actually deployed out. I think he's been converting them all, which does not get improved by his civilization passives. Sounds like getting some much good needed healing in this region. More knights advance forward. Does take out one of those freshly built farms, or at least unplanted farms. These villagers are receiving quite a bit of fire now, and none of them are going down. Heard more conversions off. Looks like no conversion there. You got a large number of monks now out on the field. Blue, what does blue get with monk upgrades? You can get every single upgrade. He also has the fervor, making monks faster. This is now getting Sanctity, very nice.
Kaiser Gise.
Eichmann getting some good damage there on these monks. I'm not sure if split his cast or is going to join casting. Yep, nope, he's getting individual casting. Very nice. Steals himself 3 knights there. The monks, 2 of them will go down, but does get himself 3 knights in that mix. It's a good trade. And these knights will go and fall on back. Eichmann gains some good damage there. Knights are advancing forward, trying to get some hits on in. Villagers now receiving some fire. You have the pikemen and knights not trying to really engage and want to avoid the towns to fire. The pikemen can't really stay around that. Over here, we've got a forward town center being pulled out, and as well as more monks. And currently, right now, he's at 4 relics, so he does get the maximum bonus there. But what if Blue knows about that last relic? No, he does not. It's just barely out of vision range. Yep. So he does get his maximum civilization bonus, so he doesn't really need it more other than just getting out some extra gold tithe. Both sides eyeing the macro up at this point in time and economic upgrades. Though I suppose the Blue's macros would have been primarily stealing his opponent's knights. Red's now advanced to Impure Age. Blue's not gotten his Impure Age just yet, nor is it being researched at the moment. Knights are advancing forward, getting good kills there on these villagers. Blue does have a good amount of gold storage as well as a good amount of stone. He may be eyeing for a forward castle. Red now has eyed a defensive castle right there on a bit of high ground. Some of these villagers are going down. Red does have a superior number of villagers still. The Teutonic player does get additional armor and 2 armor for Impure Age, but that does not overcome the additional damage that the that the Lithuanian player can get from his own knights. But looks like these knights will go on down. Forward castle's been pulled out. You have this defensive castle here by Blue as well. And now he does spot his opponent has gone for Cavalier. Trying to convert some of these Cavaliers and does go ahead and kill off that unit. That was not him losing it. Let's see. He can't get tied to heresy research, right? Yep, he can get all monk upgrades. He could research heresy since this person's been going for a lot of monks. It'd be a bit more reliable than trying to suicide your units. Plus, letting them die like that allows them to consume the progress of the monk. And why am I getting so many lag spikes? Jeez. There's a lot of lag spikes. I have no idea why I'm receiving so many lag spikes. My apologies. Ooh, this lag spike. Cavalier's being upgraded. I think my computer's... I don't know what my computer's doing. If I zoom out, it does help it out. Okay, looks like my game is no longer getting a whole bunch of chain lag spikes. I think my computer says I need a restart, so this may be my last replay for tonight. You have a trebuchet built on the high ground, trying to siege down Blue's castle. Pikemen advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there onto these Cavaliers. You also have some Teutonic Knights. Teutonic Knights, of course, the heavy infantry unit of the Teutons, having 10 pierce armor. Pikemen are trying to charge on forward, getting some good damage on these Cavaliers. We got the trebuchet specifically hitting Blue's castle. Trebuchet was overran by the Knights. I think those are built Knights, not captured Knights. More pikemen advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on in. We do have these Teutonic Knights trying to, or these villagers trying to clear up the castle. Teutonic Knights getting some great damage. As the castle may be safe, once it gets repaired up enough, you can hop his villagers inside the castle as well. It looks like Blue does have murder holes researched as well. He's going to hop inside the castle as well. Oh, holy crap. Thank you for the raid of 301 people. Welcome to the stream. We got a couple kills on those Cavaliers, these scouts are advancing forward with these Knights trying to come and respond. Just a couple scouts advancing forward. And now we do have the Knights picking up these scouts.
So.
Howdy. Oh, a lot of emotes. We do have a handful of castles being built on the flank there, getting some rounds onto some various villagers. These villagers currently not being tasked, and the stone mine being cleared up by the red player, trying to steal some of that forward stone. Red has a very good base castle line right there. Some of these trebuchets being cleaned up by Blue's Knights. We do have these Teutonic Knights trying to respond to these Knights. And now we finally got the Cavalier upgrade for Blue. You can always get the Paladin upgrade, but don't see that research at the moment. Some of these trebuchets are going on down, and now the Teutonic Knights are pushing forward, getting some good damage there onto these Cavaliers. We do have some trebuchet rounds into the castle. It is on, I think, higher ground, so I think that trebuchet is doing less damage. And now we do have the various forces being cleaned up. More Teutonic Knights advancing forward, trying to get some good hits there onto the castle. But with Murder Hole's research, it will have a bit of trouble engaging. Cavalier trying to charge it forward, does block off the... Nope, does not block off the trebuchet being overrun by a house. And looks like the trebuchet will go down, saving the blue castle. A lot of these Teutonic Knights are seeing quite a bit of arrow fire, but looks like ballistics may not be researched just yet. A lot of Blue's Knights are quite wounded as well. A couple monks could try patching up a little bit. We'll spare him some gold. And looks like we got a bit of force over here engaging some of these villagers. And Teutonic Knights are relatively good engaging villagers. Scout, that force does get cleaned on up. The villager count is in favor of red by a fair margin, 118 to 77. Blues have been having trouble maintaining his villager production. Teutonic Knights are sort of falling back, but of course they can easily engage these pikemen with 6 damage versus 10 melee armor. Handful of scouts being deployed on out by, or light cavalry deployed out by Blue. And these castles are creeping on forward, getting more and more Teutonic Knights built out on the field. Teutonic Knights are pushing way forward, gets good damage there onto the town center. And I do hear a monk trying to convert one of these guys, but I don't think one monk will accomplish all too much. Town center will go down, and that heretic does get killed off for his heresy. Couple light cavaliers advancing forward, got Teutonic Knights. These cavaliers are very, very wounded, so it's not going to go great for Blue, but won't go too terrible because it has superior numbers. And these forces will get overwhelmed. But there's so many castles right here, they're just going to be streaming out Teutonic Knights on the front line. Who cares if they're slow? They're just being deployed on the front line. They just need to walk out the castle door and start stabbing a siege workshop. Do now have a trebuchet being deployed on out, trying to get some rounds into that town center. This red castle has seen better days. You have this castle still receiving some fire, no repairers on for it. We have a handful of cavaliers here for defense. Looks like Blue's just now building light cavalry, not eyeing for the paladin research, as we do also have chemistry being researched as well. Teutonic Knights trying to spawn these forces, and they're going to be picked off in a general move order. And now Teutonic Knights are literally everywhere, attacking a lot of villagers. Nobody expects the Teutonic Knights to be harassing villagers. Blue's castles are even quite a bit fire now. There's 2 trebuchets pushing the void on out. Gets good damage there onto Blue's castle. You have the 3 repairs on the inside who get out and start repairing the castle and do their jobs. Teutonic Knights are pushing way forward, trying to stall these cavaliers from preventing them from going to these trebuchets. Still no elite Teutonic Knight upgrade. Do we see it on the build queue? Nope, just more Teutonic Knights. These Teutonic Knights are trying to engage these cavaliers, getting some... Not really getting a good engagement there, just getting overwhelmed by the sheer number of cavaliers. Red's castle does go down. Blue's castle is receiving quite a bit of fire. Blue is out of stone right now. And now we got the Teutonic Knights trying to protect his trebuchets, and they're actually in a good position for that. Red still needs to claim this gold here. And I think He's starting to hit these other trebuchets now. He could hit the castle because it does not have any repairs at the moment. And these trebuchets will go ahead and be overrun by the Cavaliers. Up here we do have these villagers blowing out more forward castles into Blue's base. And we've got the Cavaliers who could try counterattacking this area here. Blue has down to 57 villagers versus opponent's 117. Trebuchets are now hitting Blue's town centers as well. Some of the red castles are being cleaned up by Blue's trebuchets. This game could still go either way. It's getting messy very, very quickly. And looks like one of the Tonic Knights get converted and immediately killed off. Blue's castle being repaired on up. And red has cast in GG. So did red back up the game? Huh. Maybe a little bit too early for red backing on the game. He must have realized that he's losing this assault here of those trebuchets. He just couldn't be able to get good engagement on those Cavaliers, I guess. Either way, this is Anna Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Got a handful more replays available. Let's see what this one is. Looks like it's Byzantians versus Burmese. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the top right side as the blue Burmese, we have Tong Fangs. Spawn on the bottom left side as the red Byzantians, we have TM Luko. Let's of course cover each player's civilization bonuses. Of course, Byzantians are of course a defensive civilization. They get additional health per age. Camel riders, skirmishers, pikemen, halberdiers cost 25% less. Fire ships, not really important on this map. Advanced Imperial Age costs 33% less, and Town Watch, Town Patrol are free. Cataphracts is a unique unit, which does resist bonus damage. Unique text, Greek Fire gets +1 range, but Bombards get +5 blast damage. We have yet to see it in a replay yet. Logistica, Cataphracts cause trample damage, and Monks heals at a faster rate. So you can actually go for medics, or combat medics at least. Burmese, Monk and Elephant Civilization. Monk, Lumber Camp technologies are free. Infantry gets +1 attack per A, starting in feudal A, so imagine +0, 1, 2, 3. Battle defense gets +1 armor. Monastery technology costs 50% less. Unique text are run by, or unique unit around by unique text. How Da elephants get +1 armor. Manpuri cavalry gets +5 attack versus archers. Relics of those will begin the game. We do have a couple scouts push on forward. We do see some archery range pulled up by red. Archer range being pulled out by blue, so it looks like both sides going to go for archers, maybe skirmishers. And blue does get some stabs there onto red's villagers. We do have a second scout deployed out by blue. Or a third scout. Looks like, oh no, just two. Just counting the same one twice. And we're just going to push forward, trying to get more harassment on these villagers. We got a handful of palisade walls, and we do also have some being pulled out there. Is it archers or skirmishers? Looks like archers and a skirmisher on the build queue. Scouts are pushing around. They may find an opening here. It's hard to see. Yep, palisade walls. Looks like this group here has not started being built, so there's a little bit opening there. We do got a spearman to help close that gap. We have another scout to push on forward, and there's going to be 4 scouts in the field. Red looks like it should be able. It's getting pretty close. He's able to wall off in time before these scouts start advancing. He's trying to start building the. Does get that one, and does not get that wall segment started to build. So now these scouts managed to break open, trying to go for defensive palisade walls there. Scouts are going to rotate towards the wood line. No walls there. Nope, he will not get the walls off in time. Spearman not being tasked properly to engage these scout cavalry. And do got some hits there. Double on the scout cavalry do go down. Spearman getting some good damage in. Does pull out house there. And it is a full wall now. Bit of a wall in there for the gold mine. The other side still exposed. We do have more spearmen advancing forward. And should be able to kill off another. Nope, doesn't get the stab there. And looks like it largely missed those scouts. This one scout's down to 1 health. Yes, even a villager can just shank them quickly. Forces are pushing the way forward, trying to get some good damage on in. Got these skirmishers throwing some spears in the housing, and now going to throw some spears over the wall. Villagers kind of trying to shank these scouts. The scouts are all quite wounded, so they should be successful, but those skirmishers are getting a lot of free hits in, and a lot of free misses. There we go. The last scout cavalry will be shanked to death. And over here, got more skirmishers. We do have to have 6 skirmishers out in the field. And it looks like all of these wall segments are being cancelled and destroyed and deleted. I was maybe backing on off. He may eye some aggression. Nope, he's going to patrol move and stand there menacingly. Red has a significant number of archers on the build queue. He has not deployed out his reserve, so his opponent does not realize how much is actually in there. He may be seeing them for Castle Age for a quick deployment of a massive wave of crossbowmen, maybe? Not exactly sure. Usually people don't store that much there. I think he actually got maxed out storage. Maybe not. Skirmisher here, got a big wave of archers. And he still has his reserve, though he is a bit low in population space. He's going for Castle Age now, like going for crossbow and Bodkin arrow as soon as possible. Blue's also going for Castle Age now, trying to probably get crossbow and Bodkin arrow immediately. Flashing Star research, and plus the +1/+1 armor. Over here, these forces are advancing forward. Crossbow and Bodkin arrow on the build queue. Red's crossbow upgrade is complete now, and Bodkin arrow is actually arriving late. Red's gonna make advance, does get some damage there, but Bodkin arrow, without Bodkin arrow, he will have trouble with a bit of range, throwing some arrows over that tree line. Now we do have the Bodkin arrow and crossbow research deployed out for blue. Red's going to be skirmishing around. And there is an opening right here. We also have a university deployed out right there. Crossbowman trying to engage this wood line. Does get some of the gold members as well. Crossbowman does force opponent to evacuate the wood line, but there's another wood line down here. Also like this civil placement. It's just a nice, neat circle-ish shape, as opposed to this here. I don't know why. I just like the town's in the shape of a circle. I suppose the circle will help him protect him from sea bear attacks.
Oh, good.
By the way, we got the crossbowman advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on the villagers. One villager does go down. Red does have 44 and versus 43. Does miss there with the Mangonel. May actually got a bit of splash damage there. Good dodges there, hitting the Mangonel, gets in the high ground for more damage, but gotta make sure it doesn't get too close, because then it'll be harder to dodge. Mangonel does go down. And do have these crossbowmen being engaged by the crossbowman and skirmisher. Does not have the elite skirmisher upgrade just yet. But the Bodkin arrow upgrade does, of course, help him out as well. Oh. That seemed a little bit early. Red has surrendered. I guess he couldn't deal with this force down here, didn't like it, so backed out a little bit early. Either way, let's go ahead and on to the next replay. A little bit of a short game. I suppose once you lost, might as well tap out early. Don't be too frustrated for a long, drawn-out loss. Oh, looks like I got an arena match. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition replay. So on the top left side as the pink Burmese, we have JRBD. So on bottom right side as the cyan Poles, we have TW, number sign 1. Well, let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. The Burmese, Monk and Elephant Civilization. Lumber camp technologies are free. Infantry gets +1 attack per age, starting in Feudal Age. Battle Elephants gets +1/+1 armor. Monastery technologies cost 50% less. Arambai range cavalry, unique techs. Howdah, Battle Elephants get +1/+1 pierce armor. Man Fury, cavalry gets +5 attack versus archers. And team bonus relics are visible on the map. This arena may also go a bit faster than I normally do. Poles, Cavalry Civilization. Villagers regenerate additional health per age. Bulwarks replace the mill, giving a bit of an immediate cash refund. Instant collection when deploying out the What's going on here? Got a villager rush, tower rush on arena. What the hell? Oh, we got a tower rush on arena map. He's breaking down the wall with the villagers. Go on to the rest of these civilization bonuses. Stone mines generate additional gold per addition to stone, which could be quite handy for a tower rush, I guess, on arena map. You have the unique unit Oblake, give him an armor stripping infantry unit. Winged Hussars, another upgrade for your Hussar line. Drak Streethlock, I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. Privileges, nice costless gold, and a Lektuk Legacy, light cavalry suits trample damage. And team mode, Scout Cavalry, Light Cavalry, Hussars get +1 attack versus Archer. Now the villagers have broken through. There's an outpost here as well, which they do cost 5 stone, nothing too significant. Or was it 10 stone? I always forget. I don't really build outposts myself. Do you have a watchtower here? Got a market and blacksmith trying to wall in this region. Which this still be a potential hold? No, the 4A bushes are good at walling in. Another tower has been built, so he has, of course, breached a arena map of Tower Rush. Now these villagers are going to be backing on off, going the far side of the area. There's plenty of stone and gold on the far side, so his resource up here is not really too contested. He's also can deploy out farms for food, so maybe denying the 4A bushes will be very useful. He's not going for his own defensive tower. We got these villagers still trying to break down this house. Both players are at feudal age, and Cyan has gone for fletching, which is probably very useful for the archers deploying out, as well as the guard tower, giving some additional range there. Another watchtower being deployed on out. Now there could be a bit of tower war. Cyan needs to get that tower retarget towards his opponent. He does have fletching. Both of them have fletching. Are they out of range each other? They should be in range. Maybe they're just out of range each other. Either way, this tower is receiving quite a bit of fire. You could throw the archer in there. I suppose, as right now with the fletching upgrade, it'll be a bit hard to get the arrows maxed out. You can't just throw an archer. Well, I suppose the archer and the villagers are equivalent in a lot of cases. And now both towers are firing against the pink defensive tower. Towers do get bonus damage versus other towers with their extra arrows only. So having units inside of your towers will help them win a tower war. In fact, the 2 archers could be supplemented with some additional villagers. And Pink's tower is receiving quite a bit of fire. Another watchtower being deployed out by Cyan. First time I've ever seen a tower rush on an arena map, and he is being somewhat successful. It's denying the 4A bushes, but that's probably the least useful thing to deny. The gold, stone, and wood are... it's hard to deny the wood, but the gold and stone are very safe. He does have 2 good deposits, and the other gold deposits very safe as well. The scout will go and break through a palisade wall now, or soon. Starting to force away out more and more villagers. Let's see what Pink is doing. Going for Mangonel. Mangonel will be a good item to help deal with various forces such as the repairing villagers primarily. He's trying to stall up as long as he can. This house is actually quite wounded as well, so the scout could finish it off. Mangonel's advancing forward. He could potentially get some splash damage on the tower for these towers, but now towers are focusing on the Mangonel. The Mangonel does do decent damage versus buildings in comparison to arrow fire. But looks like Scout does get a body block by the repairing villager somehow, and actually did save it. But it looks like the Scar Tower will go down. And the guard tower does go down for Cyan. Does take out the house as well. That does not population block him. And Cyan's going for another watchtower here. Okay. Please tell me Cyan is going for tower upgrades. Because you never see tower upgrades. He does not get any keep upgrades just yet. Another watchtower has been built. And it looks like this Mangonel's force fire on the ground onto nothing. More houses being built on the front line. And this Mangonel is being focused down by a bit too much for arrow fire. A number of these towers are loaded up with archers to increase their arrow count. Force out some more frontline housing. Well, because this village is not doing all too much, one of the frontline housing will probably be the best spot for them. Do have some works deployed out over here. Stone being collected, has a bit of gold, stone, wood, everything being collected at home. Villager count is 42 to 37. Oh, Science still just on feudal age, not reached castle age just yet. And he's not researching it whatsoever either. Okay, there we go. He's getting castle age now. It have a slight village advantage, and so Cyan or Magenta could surpass him with the additional town center. And he does block up the gate with a house. Not sure how effective that is, honestly. Don't think I've ever seen a gate blocked off of a house before. Stable being built on the front line. Scout is severely wounded. Hope we could just pass it to auto scout at this point in time. Let's see how much he scouted out. Yep, maybe a good idea to test the auto scout just in case. Now we do have a defensive castle being put up by Pink. The archer's advancing forward, trying to deal with these forces. Does take up the converted archer. And looks like he will stop the castle from being built. He may just want to get all his villagers on building his castle. He needs his castle up. This castle will force back these towers, will force back the infantry, barring the lack of murder holes. Got another Mangonel or something going on the workshop. Actually, a battering ram wouldn't be half bad, barring the villagers shanking it. The castle has been built. He can throw his villagers in there, but he's going to recast them back on the wood line. Scorpion has actually been built out. Now is a good time to start pulling out some battering rams. Battering rams will be a higher damage unit versus these structures and be very resilient to the various arrow fire. The Scorpion, however, is getting ripped apart by these arrows. Science now reached castle age. Castle seeing some arrow fire, but the castle does get bonus damage versus other buildings. Cyan could also deploy out his own battering rams to help engage his castle. Maybe that's a good idea for something for him to do. Scorpion pushing way forward. We'll see if arrow fire will go down there. And let's want to fast forward a little bit, because right now it's a little bit static of what's going on. Neither side, I think Cyan's just staying back and transitioning to a normal game. No, got more villagers pushing way forward. It's time the castle to lock down the breach right here. Mangonel is pushing way forward, but we'll see arrow fire from that tower there. It's still just a watchtower, no keep upgrade. Scout does charge forward, that 1 health, and Scout gets a kill there. And Cyan's castle has been completed. Let's see what research Cyan has at the moment. Let's see, university, no murder holes, no university text whatsoever. Let's see. Yeah, looks like no university text whatsoever. Only has fletching, no Bodkin arrow, no crossbow research either. Looks like Cyan's claiming some relics, very nice. And we do have this relic being claimed by Pink and Stab. Does of course deny that relic. Right now, Cyan has claimed 1 relic. The rest of the relics could be claimed by Cyan. There's also a relic right here as well. Scouts could camp this relic. And it's got a little bit passive again. Let's go and fast forward a little bit. We have a battering ram here. The battering ram, of course, can be vulnerable to the scouts that can rush forward. Let's talk about scouts. Scouts do go ahead and get converted by the monks. Okay, usually scouts are resistant to conversions, but you got the conversions off nonetheless. You could take time to heal up each other. Now Cyan has pulled out Trebuchet. Looks like Cyan's gone straight for Imperial Age, and so does Pink. Trebuchet rounds are now hitting the castle. Not sure what he deploys in return. He's actually pretty low in real estate for production. Now something that usually don't have often on arena maps, but in this case, this castle is providing enough coverage to prevent sort of a lot of real estate to produce build the buildings themselves. So there's actually a little bit of area here where we can build his housing, build some production structures, be not on the front line, however. Something beyond the back line. Castle's now receiving quite a bit of fire there. We've got a monk here. This monk has claimed a relic as well. Looks like Cyan's claimed 3. Pink will claim 2. Looks like Pink's castle will go down. You have some more villagers to for, and you have some Oobleek. Looks like one Cyan's trebuchets received some hits there from Pink's trebuchet. He sees another hit there as well. And it looks like Pink has ran out of stone for repairing up the castle. He does actually purchase some stone right there because it's all plus 100. The Oobleek isn't being engaged by these forces. I dropped a relic there. I'm not sure why that monk had that relic there. There must be no pathing right here. So he went the long way around and the long way to his death. Pink's castle does go down. Pink's trebuchet now receiving some fire. Do you have light cavalry research for Cyan? Oh, was that a bombard? Yep, there's a bombard right there. Bombard needs to start hitting those trebuchets. Trebuchet down. There's still 3 more from the takeout. Does hit a villager there. Oobleek's pushing forward, trying to convert the Oobleek. He does get the conversion off very, very quickly there. Scouts advance forward, trying to overrun that bombard. And the Oobleek does get killed off by the Oobleek. And the bombard cannon will go down. More trebuchets pushing me forward, trying to get some good damage on in. And Oobleeks do get some good hits there, and looks like Pink goes ahead and surrenders from the game. A successful tower rush on our arena map. Alrighty then. Well, let's on to the next replay. Let's see now. Tatars. You usually don't see Tatars all too often. So this should be interesting. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another H-Bars 2 Definitive Edition replay. Spawn on the bottom left side as the red Byzantians. We have Lanier. Spawn is the right side as the blue Tatars. We have Fenrir. Fenrir. Either way, let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. Byzantians, defensive civilization. Buildings get additional health per age. Camel riders, skirmishers, pikemen, halberdiers cost 25% less. Fire ships are not important. Advanced Imperial Age costs 33% less. Town Watch and Town Patrol are free. Unique units of Cataphract. Unique text is Greek Fire, giving blast bombard towers additional blast damage, which is Cataphracts cause trample damage. Monks actually can be used as combat medics as a team bonus. Or the Tatars, a relatively rare civilization to see, honestly. Great. There goes that replay. And here I thought, like, oh, we get to finally see something a little bit different, and nope. Sorry about that. Guess I forgot to delete. And oh, this is the older replay. So yep, looks like that's all the replays I have for tonight. My apologies. So that is, since that's all the replays I have tonight, that's going to be the end of the stream. Everyone, have a good evening, get some good rest, and enjoy.